Welcome to Listen and Sleep. Find a comfortable position. Let your body grow a little heavier. Release your shoulders. Soften your face. There is nowhere you need to be right now. You are already where you belong. Tonight, we travel to ancient China, to one book, one text written more than 2,500 years ago. Yet it sounds as though it was written yesterday. Just 5,000 characters, 81 verses, and a silence between the lines that cannot be translated into any language in the world. This is the Tao Te Ching, the most mysterious book of the East, the second most translated book in human history after the Bible. Tonight, we will open it slowly, verse by verse, image by image. And perhaps at some moment you will feel what it speaks of, not with your mind, somewhere deeper. Imagine a road, dusty, long, the kind of road people take when they are not coming back. This is China, around the 6th century before our era. The country is fragmented. Feudal lords war against one another. The great Zhou dynasty, which once united the Middle Kingdom, is fading slowly, like a fire with no wood to feed it. Rituals are still observed. Bows are still made. But behind that beauty, emptiness, exhaustion, a feeling that something has cracked at the very foundation of the world. Along this road rides an old man on the back of a water buffalo, slowly. No servants, no guards, no banners. His white hair is gathered beneath a plain cloth. The sleeves of his wide robe have faded, not from poverty, but from time. Dust behind him, the horizon ahead. No one stops him. No one bows. No one knows who he is. And yet, he was the keeper of the royal library, a man who held in his hands everything his age had ever known. Scrolls of law, records of ancestors, words of sages long dead. He read them and said nothing. He watched the court and said nothing. He saw how power became a game, how words became weapons, how ritual became a mask. And one day, he decided to leave. Not from exhaustion, from understanding, from that particular stillness that comes when a person sees things as they are and stops fighting them. He rode west, toward the place where the inhabited world ended and something without a name began. The pass of Hangu stood in a mountain gorge, a stone wall across the only road heading west. High watchtowers, heavy wooden gates, guards who stopped everyone, merchants, pilgrims, envoys, everyone. They stopped him too. The commander of the pass, a man named Yin Shi, came out himself. They say he could read the stars. They say that a few days before this meeting, he had seen something unusual in the night sky. A violet cloud moving from east to west. A sign, a warning, a promise. He did not know what was coming toward him, but he was waiting. And here, an old man on a buffalo. Yin Shi came closer. He looked into the old man's face, and something in that face, the stillness that lived there, a light that was not the light of joy or pride, but something calmer, made him stop. He bowed and made a request. Before you go, leave behind what you know. Write it down. Let it remain. Let those who come after be able to touch this too. The old man was silent. For a long time, the buffalo shifted its weight. The wind moved through the gorge, dry, warm, carrying the smell of stone and wormwood. Then the old man nodded. He climbed down from the buffalo, walked to the room Yin Shi had set aside for him, sat before a low table, picked up a brush. Before him lay bamboo strips, thin, pale, still carrying the scent of living wood. Outside, night was falling. An oil lamp cast an orange circle on the table. Beyond the wall, the silence of mountains. Somewhere far away, the cry of a night bird and the scratch of a brush on bamboo. He wrote without stopping, without drafts, without corrections, as though he was not composing, but remembering or listening. Something was dictating to him from within, something without a voice, but with a rhythm, the rhythm of water, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of what existed before all words. By dawn, he was finished. 5,000 characters, 2 scrolls, 1 silence that had become words. He did not read back what he had written. He did not sign his name. He handed the strips to Yin Shi, calmly, the way you hand over something that is no longer yours. He walked out, mounted the buffalo and rode on, west, into the mountains, into the morning fog. No one saw him again, ever. This is how, according to legend, the Tao Te Ching came to be. A text that was born on a threshold, literally, on the border between the world and what lies beyond, between word and silence, between the one who writes and what writes itself. And in this, there is already something of its meaning. Imagine you hold these strips in your hands. The bamboo has warmed from your palms. The characters cut by the brush look up at you. 5,000 signs. Not one unnecessary. Not one overlonged explanation. Only image. Hint. A question that looks like an answer. How can a text written in a single night by an unknown old man at a dusty checkpoint survive 2,500 years? How can it speak to you today, here, in the darkness of your room, as vividly as it spoke to its first reader? Perhaps because it was not written about its own time, but about something that has no time. About water that flows, about emptiness that holds, about a silence in which something greater than words lives. And this conversation is only beginning, because who this old man really was, that is a question without a simple answer. History preserved his name, but did it preserve him? His name was Laozi. In translation, old child or old master. Both meanings live in those two characters at once, and neither one displaces the other. According to legend, his mother carried him in her womb not 9 months, but decades. Long, long years. And when he was finally born, his hair was already white. He came into the world already old, already wise, already ready to leave. That, of course, is legend. But legends are a particular kind of truth. They speak not of what happened, but of what matters. If we set aside miraculous births and look for something more solid, more like earth underfoot, here is what we find. Laozi served at the court of the great Zhou dynasty. He was the keeper of the royal library, the keeper of archives. the one who knew where the bronze vessels with their inscriptions were kept, where the treaty scrolls were stored, where the names of dead rulers were recorded. Imagine this man, a quiet hall, the smell of old wood and dust, light falling through a narrow window. He sits among hundreds, thousands of records made by hands that are long gone. He reads what was written before him. He knows how kingdoms were born. He knows how they died. And he sees what was once great is crumbling. The rituals followed for generations have become empty motions. Words are spoken, but without life behind them. Officials speak of virtue while thinking of influence. Rulers speak of the people while watching the borders of foreign lands. The order that held the world together is cracking, quietly, slowly, like an old tree under the weight of snow. He sees this and says nothing. Yet silence, too, is a kind of answer. The historian Sima Qian, who lived 4 centuries after these events, tried to gather everything that was known about the old keeper, and found something strange. The traces split. Perhaps it was a certain Lao Laizi from the state of Chu. Perhaps a court official named Dan who lived later. Perhaps there were several of them, and time merged their images into one. Sima Qian wrote honestly, "I am not certain. For a historian, that is a rare kind of courage." Modern scholars go further still. They allow that Laozi may not be one person at all, that he is a composite figure, a voice assembled from many voices, the way a river is formed from many streams, each carrying its own water. If so, there is something deeply Taoist in this. A book with no single author, wisdom that belongs to no one, and therefore belongs to everyone. But there is one moment, just one, that almost no one disputes. The meeting. A young Confucius, not yet the great teacher, just a gifted young man from the state of Lu, came to the old keeper, came for guidance about rituals, about rules, about how a noble person should conduct himself, how to perform rites properly, how to preserve order in a world that was falling apart. He came with questions, with a notebook full of diagrams and rules, with a burning desire to understand how to live life correctly. What the old keeper said to him has not been preserved word for word, but what is known is how Confucius left. He returned to his students in silence. For a long time he said nothing. His students waited, and then he spoke the words they later wrote down and kept. He said, "I know how a bird flies. I know how a fish swims. I know how an animal runs. A bird can be caught with a snare, a fish with a net, an animal with a trap. But there is a dragon. I do not know how a dragon rises to the sky, how it glides on the wind, how it dissolves into clouds. Today, I saw a dragon." Think about this. The young Confucius, one of the sharpest minds of his age, left the old man shaken, not convinced, not enlightened, shaken, as though he had met something his mind could not encompass. This matters, because Confucius built his thinking on certainty, on hierarchy, on clear rules. This is how a noble person acts. This is how an unworthy one does. He believed in an order that could be described in words, fixed by ritual, passed from teacher to student. And the old keeper seemed to think differently about what cannot be described, what slips away from any rule, what runs through your fingers when you try to close your fist. Two great minds meeting in the same courtyard, two different paths, one toward clarity, the other toward the silence beyond clarity. And here is what is strange and beautiful at once. Neither of them won. Both turned out to be right, each in their own way. China lived this internal conversation for millennia. Confucian order and Taoist emptiness, ritual and formlessness, effort and non-effort. Perhaps this is exactly why wisdom so rarely lives in a single voice. It arises between voices. So, who wrote 5,000 characters? One old keeper with white hair? Several sages whose names time erased? A collective voice of generations searching for words to express what needs no words. Perhaps the answer is not as important as the question itself, because a text not tied to one person does not die with him. It continues to live its own life. it grows beyond its source, like a river that has long forgotten which spring it flowed from. And yet, there was a night. There was a checkpoint on the edge of the known world. There was a brush dipped in ink, and there was a decision to leave. To leave behind only words. What that night looked like comes next. Even a dragon grows weary of the world eventually, not of people, of the emptiness they leave behind, of words without meaning, of rituals without heart. He decides to leave. Imagine the old man, high cheekbones, white eyebrows, hands accustomed to holding bamboo scrolls. Behind him, decades in the royal library, thousands of scrolls, thousands of voices from generations gone. He had known them all. He had kept them. And they had kept something in him. But then came the day when he understood. This house had nothing left to keep. The Zhou dynasty was dying. Not suddenly, slowly, the way a fire dies when the wood is wet. Not in an explosion, but in a quiet smoldering. Torches still burned in the palaces. Ritual hymns still rang out. But behind the beauty of the ritual, emptiness. Officials spoke the right words about duty and virtue, and all the while they were thinking of positions, of influence, of whose cup sat closer to the ruler at the feast. The old man saw this, saw it for years, and said nothing, because silence was wiser than words. But one day, the silence became unbearable, not because he wanted to cry out, but because it became clear. To stay was to die without leaving. He packed lightly, almost nothing. He saddled the buffalo himself, without servants. The buffalo was old and unhurried, the kind that does not rush toward the horizon, that simply walks, step by step, as though asking where would be impolite. The road led west, beyond the boundaries of the Middle Kingdom, into lands without libraries, without rituals, without officials, and their cups, into the place where mountains meet the sky, and there is no one to question. No one saw him off. No one wept after him. Perhaps no one even knew. One old man on one buffalo, dust on the road, the smell of wild sage, a distant bird's cry, everything as usual. and yet forever. The pass of Hangu stood at the entrance to a mountain gorge. Here the known land ended. Here the guards checked travelers. Who passes? Why? Where to? Stone walls worn by time. A tower with a sun-bleached flag. The smell of smoke and cooked grain. The commander of the pass was named Yin Shi, an unusual man. Amid the dust and routine of border duty, he occupied himself reading the stars, not out of superstition, out of curiosity, out of a feeling that the sky was saying something if one knew how to listen. And then he saw it. In the movement of stars that week, something had shifted. Wisdom was traveling from east to west. Not an army, not a merchant caravan. Wisdom. He felt it as clearly as one feels a storm approaching, by the way the air goes still. When the old man on the buffalo appeared on the road, Yin Shi went out to meet him himself, without guards, alone. He bowed and said simply, "Before you go, write down what you know." What the old man answered is unknown. Perhaps he was quiet for a long time. Perhaps he smiled. Perhaps he sighed, the way you sigh when you understand. You cannot leave without giving. You cannot carry the light away with you if others are walking in the dark. He stayed for one night. Yin Shi brought bamboo strips, thin, long, already dried, a modest stack, a few hundred strips, on each space for several characters. He brought ink. He brought a brush. He placed an oil lamp, small, made of fired clay, and left the old man alone. The night was quiet, no wind, no rain, only the stars, the very ones Yin Shi had been reading the night before. The lamp flame barely moved. The smell of oil, of bamboo, of ink. A silence in which only the brush on bamboo can be heard. The old man wrote, unhurriedly, without long pauses, as though writing what had long been inside him, waiting only to be released. Character by character, strip by strip. The hand moved steadily. The brush touched the bamboo gently, the way water touches stone, without pressure, without force. What was he writing about? The nature of things, about how the world holds together not through force, but through emptiness, about how the soft overcomes the hard, about how the ruler no one hears of is the greatest ruler, about water that does not argue, yet wears through stone, about the silence that knows more than words. The first part, about the way, about what exists before names, before forms, before movement itself. 37 strips, 37 verses, each one like a breath in. The second part, about virtue, about how to live within this way, how to act without acting, how to know without proving, how to lead without commanding. 44 strips, 44 verses, each one like a breath out. Together, 81, a number ancient China considered perfect. 9 times 9, the fullness of fullness. 5,000 characters, no more, no less. The lamp was burning low. Outside the checkpoint walls, dawn was beginning. First barely visible, a thin strip above the mountain ridge. Then the sky turned gray, then rose. The old man set down the brush. He did not reread, did not correct, did not doubt, because what is written in such silence needs no correction. It is already true. He stacked the strips carefully, tied them with guard, left them by the door where Yin Shi slept, and walked out into the courtyard. The buffalo stood by the post, chewing something, unruffled. The old man patted its neck, mounted. The buffalo began to move, slowly at its usual pace, asking nothing. The road climbed into the mountains, into a fog that had not yet lifted, into a silence where there were no libraries, no checkpoint guards, no star charts. Yin Shi woke, found the strips, untied the cord, read the first lines. The way that can be spoken of is not the eternal way. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. He stepped out onto the road, but the old man was already gone. No one saw him again. No one knows where he went. In the mountains beyond the Hanggu Pass, there is no grave, no temple, no memorial stone. Only the road, dusty, rocky, leading to where the sky touches the earth. The book remained. The man did not. Sometimes you think, perhaps that was the plan, to leave, and leave only words, without a face, without a biography, without a portrait to hang and bow before. Just 5,000 characters on bamboo strips. Let each person decide for themselves who wrote them. A book born as a farewell became something greater than a farewell. It became a beginning. But what exactly was beginning in it? The text itself will say. 81 verses, 2 parts, 1 emptiness that holds everything, 5,000 characters, 2 parts. That is all that remained of that night at the pass. But what are these 2 parts? How is this text arranged? The one that fits in the palm of your hand and will not fit inside the mind? The first part is called the Tao Te Ching, 37 verses, about the nature of the world, about how everything that exists is ordered, about the way that cannot be named, and about what happens when you stop resisting the current of things. The second part, the Te Ching, 44 verses, about the nature of action, about how a person lives in this world, how they rule, build, speak, fall silent, how they carry strength within them or lose it. Together, 81 verses, a number that is no accident. In the Chinese tradition, 9 is the symbol of completeness. 9 times 9, 81, the closing of the circle. This is the text we know as the Tao Te Ching, way and virtue, world and action, 2 parts like 2 wings of one bird. And here is something remarkable. In 1973, in the Chinese province of Hunan, at a place called Mawangdui, archaeologists opened a tomb from the Han Dynasty era. It was nearly 2,000 years old. Inside, they found silk scrolls, and on them was the text of Laozi. The oldest scrolls from Mawangdui had been kept 2,100 years underground. The silk had thinned, but the words had survived. And the scholars discovered something unexpected. In these manuscripts, the parts are in reverse order. First comes the Te Ching, about action. Then the Tao Te Ching, about the nature of the world. Not way virtue, but virtue way. This means the order familiar to us is not the original. It took shape later. At some point, someone switched the parts, and no one knows why. Perhaps it was a scribe who was thinking about logic. Perhaps a sage who saw a different meaning in it. Or perhaps it was simply chance. And chance turned out to be wiser than intention. Here is the first mystery this text holds. It exists in several versions, and none is considered the only correct one. Sit with this image for a moment. A book with no definitive original. A text that exists in several forms at once, like light refracted through different facets. Now, about the verses themselves. Each of the 81 verses is brief. Some fit into just a few lines. No long arguments, no proofs, no stories. Only images. Only paradoxes. Only the silence between the words. Laozi did not explain. He showed. And he did this deliberately. He chose words with multiple meanings, one character, and inside it live 3, 4, 5 different senses at once. The reader decides which one is theirs. This is not vagueness or error. It is a method. Conscious multiplicity of meaning. Imagine you walk into a dark room and are told, there is something important here. You begin to move slowly, carefully, hands outstretched. You feel for things, and what you find is your own discovery, not someone else's. That is how the verses of Laozi work. They do not give an answer. They create a space in which you arrive at understanding yourself. And that understanding is always yours. It is born from your own life, your own experience, your own silence. Century after century, sages, monks, officials, poets, and philosophers sat with this text and wrote commentaries. Over its long history, 700 classical commentaries were composed, 700 attempts to explain the inexplicable. 350 have survived to our day. 350 voices. Each one understood something. Each one missed something. And not one of the 350 claims to have the final word. This is telling. Each commentator seems to say, I came a little closer. But the text is still further ahead. There is something in this like a horizon, you walk toward it. It retreats. But the road you have traveled is real, and it has changed you. This is the nature of this text. It changes with every reading, because you change. The same verse read at 20 and at 50 is two different verses, not because the words are different, but because a different person is reading them. You carry your own translation of this book within you, written not with a brush, with experience, not on silk, on memory. And that translation no one can make for you. This is why the text lives. This is why it does not age. Not because it is written with the right words, but because it is written with the emptiness between the words. And each person fills that emptiness with themselves. 81 verses, 2 parts, thousands of interpretations, and yet one voice, quiet, unhurried, almost inaudible. But the quieter it grows around you, the more clearly it sounds. How do we know all this about manuscripts, about versions, about the age of the text? The answer lay underground, literally, in sealed tombs, among bamboo and silk more than 2,000 years old. And what scholars found there changed everything we thought we knew about this book. Perhaps the earth holds the most honest answers of all. Not books, not commentaries. The earth, dark, moist, silent, the earth that waits for millennia. 1993, Hubei Province. Autumn. A small town called Guodian stands where the heart of the ancient state of Chu once beat. The land here is hilly, quiet. A river winds between the fields. Poplars stand motionless in the damp mist. Nothing suggests that here, beneath a layer of clay, someone is waiting. A spade enters the earth. Again. Then a different sound. Dull, careful. Something there. Archaeologists discovered a burial, a tomb from the era of the warring states. Thousands of years had passed, and yet inside it was dry, preserved, as though time had simply stopped and begun to wait. Inside lay bamboo strips, about 800 of them, bound with silk cords that had long since crumbled. but the strips themselves, intact, thin, faintly yellow, covered in rows of characters, 13,000 signs, written with a brush, written by a hand, living, thinking, hurried, or, on the contrary, slow, that we can no longer know. Imagine how this looked. Not in a museum, not behind glass, but there, in the earth. Strips laid beside a person who had died, not by accident, deliberately. The one buried here had wanted to take these words along, or to preserve them, entrusting to the earth what they did not trust to time. Scholars began their work, patient, almost prayerful, washing, drying, reading, fitting fragments together like the shards of something large. And then they saw 2,000 of the 13,000 characters belonged to the Tao Te Ching, the oldest known copy of the text. It was about 2,300 years old, older than anything found before, older than the Mawangdui scrolls, closer to the source. The scholars fell still, because the Guodian manuscript was not simply a copy. It was different. 31 verses. Out of 81, only 31. Half were missing. Several deep fragments present. But the final 15 verses, gone entirely. Emptiness where words should have been. What does this mean? Perhaps the scribe was in a hurry. Perhaps strips were lost. But there is another possibility, one that changed everything scholars thought about the text. Perhaps those verses simply did not yet exist. Because if a person living around 2,300 years ago did not know the final 15 verses, that could mean only one thing. When they were copying the text, those verses had not yet been written. The text was still growing, still being added to, still not yet what it would later become. And this quiet, almost imperceptible discovery overturned much. The Tao Te Ching was not written by one person in a single night. The legend is beautiful. The oil lamp, the old man, the brush, the dawn. 5,000 characters and a departing buffalo. It is an image. It is poetry. But the earth told a different story. The earth said, "This text was created slowly, by many hands, over the span of centuries. Someone wrote the first verses, someone added the next. Someone reinterpreted, rearranged, expanded. Like a river fed by many springs that still flows in a single direction. Think about this. Not one person, but generations. Not one night, but centuries of quiet labor. And yet, it sounds like a single voice. Here is what is remarkable. If you open the Tao Te Ching today and read it straight through, you feel no seams. You cannot feel where one voice ends and another begins. The text breathes evenly, thinks in a single rhythm, speaks of one thing, of water, of emptiness, of silence, of the soft being stronger than the hard. How is this possible? How do many voices become one? Perhaps this is the nature of the Tao itself. The Tao belongs to no one. It is not spoken by one mouth. It emerges through those who are willing to fall quiet and let it speak. And then different people, different hands, different centuries, all of them wrote the same thing because they were looking at the same thing, at water flowing downward, at an empty vessel, at a newborn clutching a tiny fist. The bamboo strips from Guodian lie in a museum now, behind glass, in a controlled climate. Thousands of people come to see them. Some simply stand and are quiet. They do not read. They only look at these thin slips of dark wood and perhaps feel something that has no name. A touch of something older than words. Because the strips remember the hand that held them. They remember the silence of the burial chamber. They remember the earth, dark, heavy, that kept them for millennia. And now they are here, and the text on them is the same text people read today in Tokyo, in Berlin, in New York. Something does not die. Something remains. And if the text survived centuries of creation, survived the earthen darkness of 2,300 years, survived the death of languages and the death of kingdoms, perhaps it is not just the words. Perhaps it is what those words are about what existed before words, and that something has not changed. It is still here, in the breath, in the pause between thoughts. In that moment, at the edge of sleep, when you are not yet asleep, and no longer fully awake. Somewhere in that space lives what Lao Tzu was trying to speak of, and what, perhaps, was speaking through him, just as it spoke through all the others who added their lines to this text without signing their names. A text that wrote itself through people, through centuries, through silence. And the first verse of this text begins with an admission. Everything that follows is not the final truth, only an approach to it, only a finger pointing toward a place that words themselves cannot enter. And now this voice speaks from the very first verse. Imagine opening a book, slowly, without knowing what waits inside. You simply rest your hand on the cover and feel something quiet coming from it, something that was here long before you, something that will remain after. The first verse of the Tao Te Ching sounds like this. The Tao that can be expressed in words is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. This is where Lao Tzu begins, not with definitions, not with explanations, with a warning. He says, everything you are about to read is not quite it. Words are not the things they name. A map is not the territory. The finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. Imagine silence, real silence, the kind in which you can hear your own breathing. Can you name it with the word silence and preserve it? No. The moment you say the word, something leaves. The very act of speaking disrupts what it is trying to describe. That is what Lao Tzu is speaking of. This seems strange. Why write a book about what cannot be written? Why speak of what cannot be said? But in this lies a rare honesty. Lao Tzu begins with an admission. I cannot give you truth directly. I can only point, approach, create a shadow of what exists beyond shadows. Most teachers speak differently. They say, here is the truth. Remember it. Follow it. Repeat it. Lao Tzu says otherwise. He says, truth is over there. I cannot give it to you, but I can help you turn in the right direction. And that difference is enormous. Think, how many words do you hear every day? How many explanations, definitions, instructions, opinions. Words surround us on all sides like fog. We have grown used to thinking that finding a word means understanding a thing. Name it and know it. Lao Tzu says, no. He says this gently, without judgment. He simply reminds us, a name is a pointer, useful, convenient, but not the thing it points to. There is an old story told by Buddhist monks. A master looks at the moon and says to his student, "Do you see?" The student looks at the master's finger. The master sighs. Words are fingers. We look at them so often that we forget to lift our eyes. Tao is not a word. Tao is not a concept. Tao is what remains when the words run out, when the explanations are exhausted, when you simply sit, simply breathe, simply exist, without names. Lao Tzu calls this the nameless. The nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of 10,000 things. Two ways of looking at the same thing. When there are no names, you see mystery. When there are names, you see manifestation. Neither is better than the other, but most of us live only in the world of names, in the world of labels and definitions, and forget to look into the place where there are no names. Right now, as you lie in the dark, try to feel something without naming it, just the sensation of the body, just warmth, just weight, just the breath coming and going. Do not speak any words. Rest in the place where there are none. That is where the first verse points. And it is remarkable that this is where the book begins, not with a verse about humility, not with a teaching on virtue, but with a conversation about the limits of language, about how the very word Tao is already not the Tao. There is something deeply honest in this gesture. Lao Tzu seems to say to the reader, I will speak, and I ask you to listen in a way that lets you hear what lives between the words, what is in the pauses, what is in the space between one line and the next. This is why translators across every age return to the first verse again and again. One writes, "The Tao that can be expressed is not the eternal Tao." Another, the way that can be walked is not the eternal way. A third, to speak of Tao is already to speak of something else. Each one hears differently, and perhaps each one is right, because the first verse is left open on purpose. It is not a lock, it is a door. Consider, is there anything in your life for which you have no words? Something you know, but cannot explain. Some feeling, some understanding that comes in silence and leaves the moment you try to catch it. Laozi would say, "There, you already know what I mean." He calls this the mysterious. In Chinese, Shuan, dark, deep, unfathomable. Not because there is darkness there, but because the light of words does not reach it. This place exists before thought has taken form, before the mouth has opened. And this place, says Laozi, is the beginning of everything. Remarkable, isn't it? A book that begins by admitting its own impossibility, and for that very reason becomes immortal. Words that say, we cannot express the most important thing, and for that very reason express it. There is a paradox here, but no contradiction. If Laozi had written, "The Tao is this," the book would have died with his era, become a document, an artifact. Instead, he wrote, "The Tao is not what I will say," and the book became alive because it left space for you, for your experience, for your silence. This is why 2,500 years later, the first verse reads as though written today, because it was not written about 5th century China. It was written about what you feel right now when the noise of the day goes quiet, about that silence that falls at the edge of sleep, about that wordless knowing that comes when the body relaxes and the mind stops arguing, about that deep, nameless stillness that was here before you and will be after. Laozi wrote the first verse as a threshold. Once you cross it, you understand. The remaining 80 verses are not an explanation. They are a journey. And every verse is one more step toward the place where words point, but cannot enter. The next step, toward where water teaches stone, where the soft overcomes the hard, where non-action achieves what force could never accomplish. There is a concept for which Laozi seems to have taken up the brush in the first place. A concept that runs through the text from the first verse to the last. It sounds simple, almost too simple. Wu Wei, non-action. But do not hurry toward understanding. The word non-action is a trap. It sounds like a call to do nothing, like permission to lie down, turn away, let things drift. Laozi means something entirely different. Look at a river. It flows constantly, without pause, without exhaustion, but never, not once, has it decided where to flow, has not made a plan, has not chosen a direction. It simply follows what is there, goes around stones, bends around cliffs, seeps through cracks, and in the end reaches the sea, always. That is Wu Wei. Not the absence of movement, but movement that does not fight the world, that goes where the world opens a path, that does not spend its strength on resistance, but saves it for flowing. Verse 43 says it plainly. The softest thing in the world overcomes the hardest. Laozi is not inventing a philosophy. He is simply watching water, how it wears down stone. Not in a day, not in a year, over centuries, but it wears it down. Granite cracks, basalt retreats, water remains water. Have you ever held a river stone in your hand? Smooth, almost warm. It is that way because the river worked with it for a long time, without anger, without effort. It simply flowed past, and the stone grew softer, rounder, more beautiful. Water does not know its own strength. That is precisely why it is so strong. Verse 76 is one of the strangest in all the text. Strange because it speaks of death, but speaks of it calmly, as an observation. At birth, a person is soft and yielding. After death, hard and stiff. Look at a living tree. Its branches bend in the wind. They sway, give way, return. It is alive precisely because it is supple. A dead tree stands straight, does not bend, hard, and soon it will fall. The soft and yielding belong to life. The hard and stiff belong to death. This is not poetry for its own sake. It is observation from the world. Laozi had probably watched many times how living creatures move softly, breathe lightly, yield and return, and how the dead grow rigid, become fixed, motionless. And he drew a conclusion. Hardness is not strength. Hardness is an ending. Feel this in yourself. In moments when you clench your teeth and push through, the body becomes hard, shoulders like stone, breath short and sharp. You are like that dead tree, upright, unbending, and vulnerable. And in moments when you let go, the body softens, breath deepens, shoulders drop. You are alive again. Wu Wei is not weakness. It is a choice in favor of life. Laozi frames this as advice you can carry with you every day. Do not resist the current. Flow around it. Do not break. Yield, and you will pass through. Do not shout. Whisper, and you will be heard more deeply. Do not hurry. Wait, and the moment will come on its own. These 4 lines are almost an instruction, written 2,500 years ago, for a person living today. Do not resist. Flow around it. How many times have you spent your strength fighting what cannot be changed? Someone's opinion, a past event, the way the world around you is arranged. Water does not fight its banks. It takes their shape and keeps flowing to where it needs to go. Do not break. Yield. This seems like defeat, but it is not defeat. It is a maneuver. Grass beneath snow is not broken. It has bent, and in spring it will rise. Do not shout. Whisper. The most important words in life have almost always been spoken quietly. I love you. Everything will be all right. I am here. Shouting demands attention. Whispering asks for trust. And what is spoken in silence is remembered longer. Do not hurry. Wait. This is perhaps the hardest of the 4. To wait when you want to act. To be quiet when you want to speak. To stay when you want to leave. But Laozi knew the right moment comes on its own, and those who know how to wait meet it fully prepared. Wu Wei is not passivity. it is a different kind of activity, attentive, sensitive, ready. Like a hunter who sits motionless for hours, then moves precisely and without hesitation. Like a gardener who does not pull the seedling upward, but creates conditions in which the seedling reaches toward the light on its own. Like a person who does not chase sleep, but simply allows the body to relax, and sleep comes. Perhaps Wu Wei is what is happening right now. Here, in this silence, you are not trying to fall asleep. You are simply allowing. The body grows heavier. The breath slows. Thoughts grow quieter. You are not doing anything in particular, and that is precisely why everything is going as it should. Water does not decide where to flow, and yet it always finds the way. Always. But Wu Wei is only one half. There is a second, the one that gives strength without effort. And Laozi names it differently. Not action and not non-action, but something that lives in the very nature of a person, quietly, unnoticed, like a root beneath the earth. There is a strength that does not know itself as strength, like the root of a tree going into the earth without effort, like light that simply shines, not because it decided to shine, but because it knows no other way. Laozi called this strength Te, and the second part of his book is devoted entirely to it. But what is Ti? Translators have been debating for 2.5 millennia. Virtue, strength, power, grace, every word is true. And every word is not quite it. Te is not morality in the Western sense, not a list of rules, not a title conferred after trials. Te is what remains when everything unnecessary has withdrawn, like gold that does not need to be stamped. It is simply gold. Verse 38. One of the most difficult, one of the most precise. Laozi writes, "A person of highest Te does not strive to do good things, and for that reason is virtuous. A person of lesser Te does not abandon the intention to do good things, and for that reason is not virtuous." Read it again, slowly. The one who strives to be good is already outside of Te. The one who simply acts from their own nature, without thinking, "I am doing something good right now." This is who carries real strength. This sounds like a paradox, only if you think in familiar categories. Imagine a person who helps someone up after a fall, not because anyone is watching, not because it is the right thing to do, not because they will remember it later with satisfaction. They simply saw, extended a hand, movement and action merged. No gap between them, no thought, no self. That is Te. Now imagine another person. They help too, but in their mind, a story is already forming about what they did. They are a little pleased with themselves. They quietly expect some gratitude, not demanding, just expecting. And in this expectation, in this quiet self-satisfaction, Te has already disappeared. What remains is an action resembling virtue, but not virtue itself. Laozi observes, intention is already a distance between yourself and the source. There is something sobering in this. The one who thinks, I am a good person, has already begun to lose what makes them one, because true goodness cannot see itself. It is blind to itself. It flows like water, without noticing that it flows. This is why Te cannot be accumulated, cannot be earned, cannot be proven. It either is, like breathing, or it is not. In verse 38, Laozi goes further. He builds a ladder. First, the person in Te who does not think about virtue. Then, the person in Ren, in human-heartedness, who thinks about it but does not insist. Then, the person in Yi, in righteousness, who insists and demands a response. And finally, the person in Li, in ritual, who, receiving no answer, rolls up their sleeves and compels. Each step is a step further from the source. Each one adds effort where the source would have been quiet. Laozi does not condemn Ren, or Yi, or Li. Confucius built his entire system on them, and it is a great system. But Laozi looks deeper. He asks, where does virtue come from? From effort? Or from nature? From will? Or from the silence that precedes will? And answers, from silence. Te is not created. It unfolds, like a flower that does not decide to bloom, like morning, which arrives without announcement. Perhaps you have noticed this in yourself at times. A moment when you were doing something and were not thinking about whether it was right. You simply did it, lightly, without inner noise, without judgment, without a witness inside. And then, looking back, you understood. That was good, not because you tried, precisely because you did not try. That is a touch of Ta. Everyone knows it. Sometimes, in caring for a child in the night, when exhaustion dissolves, and only quiet love remains. Sometimes, in a conversation with a friend, when the words come by themselves, and there is no need to search for them. Sometimes, in work, when you suddenly stop thinking about the work, and everything begins to flow. In such moments, Te does not need to be named. It simply is. Laozi writes of the sage, he does not accumulate. The more he gives, the more he has. The more he does for others, the richer he becomes himself. This is not a metaphor or a promise of reward. It is a description of how a source works. It cannot be emptied. It does not run dry from being drawn upon. Te is just such a source within a person, not a merit, not an achievement. Original nature. What was there before the striving began? This is why Laozi returns again and again to the image of an infant, not because he is calling for helplessness, but because an infant has not yet learned to separate itself from its own nature. It cries, without wondering whether crying is appropriate. It reaches out, without evaluating whether reaching is proper. Its Te is still whole, still uncut by thought. As we grow, we learn. This is necessary. But alongside knowledge, an observer takes up residence in us, one who watches our actions and passes judgment. This is right. This is not good. I should. I am trying. And in this distance between ourselves and our actions, the loss begins. The Tao Te Ching is not a call to abandon reason. It is an invitation to remember. Beneath the layers of effort, requirements, self-assessments, there is something quieter, something that need not be earned, something that is already here. You may feel it right now. in the silence of this evening, in the way the breath comes and goes on its own, without your intention, without effort, simply there. Te is like that breath. It does not know that it is Te. It simply breathes. And in that not knowing is its entire strength. Strength that seeks no confirmation, that needs no audience, that flows as water flows through stone, quietly, unstoppably, knowing nothing of itself. But Laozi saw not only the individual, he saw the state. And what he saw was no less unexpected. Laozi thought not only about the person, he thought about the state. This is surprising. The Tao Te Ching is read as a book about the inner path, about the nature of things, about silence. But roughly a third of its verses are about power, about rulers, about how one should conduct themselves when the fates of others are in their hands. This was also part of the design, perhaps the main part. Try to imagine the China of Laozi's era, not the China that builds roads and launches satellites, but the ancient, fragmented China drenched in blood, the era of the warring states. Dozens of kingdoms wage endless war. Rulers seize their neighbors, levy taxes on the people, execute the disloyal. A world where power meant coercion, a loud voice, an iron hand. In this world, Laozi writes something impossible. The best ruler is the one of whom the people know only that he exists. Pause on this for a moment. Not the one who is loved, not the one who is feared, not the one celebrated in songs, but the one who is barely known, the one who has arranged life so skillfully that people live in peace and do not notice who has provided that peace. Silence as the highest art of governance. Below such a ruler stand those who are loved and praised. Lower still, those who are feared. And at the very bottom, those who are despised. Laozi does not build this list as a mockery of power, but as a mirror. The louder a ruler is, the weaker they are, the more admiration they demand, the less genuine substance they have. This is a strange, almost impossible thought for any era, including ours. We are used to the idea that a ruler must be visible, must speak, make decisions, announce reforms, show strength. Power is action, movement, presence. But Laozi proposes the opposite. The wise ruler acts in such a way that their action is not felt as interference. They create conditions and step back. Allow things to follow their own course. Silence as a method. Emptiness as a tool. There is a verse in the Tao Te Ching that sounds almost like cooking advice. Verse 60. Governing a large state is like cooking small fish. Small fish are delicate. If you keep turning them, they fall apart. You need to place them in the vessel. Let the heat do its work, and not touch them, not adjust, not interfere, not show that you are here and controlling every moment. This image is easy to understand, very hard to accept, because human nature, especially the nature of one who has gained power, tends toward the opposite, toward control, toward corrections, toward the desire to leave a mark, change things, improve. Laozi says, that is what ruins the fish. When a ruler issues too many laws, the people begin to circumvent them. When he demands too much, the people conceal. The harder the pressure from above, the more clever the resistance below. This is not a theory. It is an observation of nature. Water pressed in a fist seeps through the fingers. Softness wins not because it is kind, but because it is wise. Something important needs to be said here. Laozi was not a naive dreamer. He was not calling for absence of power or anarchy. He was speaking of a different quality of power that works not through coercion, but through alignment with the nature of things. A ruler who follows the Tao does not fight the current. They become part of it. And so everything happens by itself. Now let us return to those bamboo strips from the tomb at Guodian, 1993, Hubei Province. Scholars unroll fragments of the oldest known copy of the text and understand this was not a chance discovery in a monastic cell. The tomb belonged to someone from the ruling class, perhaps a tutor to an heir to the royal throne. Alongside the fragments of the Tao Te Ching lay other texts about rituals, about education, about governance. This was a library for those being prepared to rule. verses about the wise ruler, about fish and fire, about how the greatest leader goes unnoticed. All of this was taught, not to monks in forest hermitages, but to those who were meant to sit on thrones or stand beside them. So the Tao Te Ching was not read only as a spiritual text. It was read as a manual of statecraft. This shifts the angle of view. When Laozi wrote about silence, he was not retreating from the world. He was offering the world a different way of being. When he said that great governance is inaudible, he was not dreaming. He was teaching, patiently, through images, through paradoxes, through metaphors of fish and water. Perhaps this is the most remarkable paradox in the whole text. A book written by a man who was walking away from power became a textbook for those who pursued it. A book that speaks of silence was passed from hand to hand in palace chambers. A book about non-action became a guide to action. Tao is like a river. It can be directed, but it cannot be stopped. And perhaps this is precisely what makes the Tao Te Ching so alive. It refuses to be only one thing. For a monk, it speaks of withdrawal. For a ruler, of governance. For a warrior, of strength that needs no sword. Everyone comes and hears their own. But in this teaching about rulers, there is one more layer. Quiet, almost invisible. Laozi speaks about a ruler, but perhaps he is speaking about you, about how you govern your own life, your own thoughts, your own desires, how often you turn the fish too many times, intervene where it would be better to wait, demand results from yourself that destroy the very thing you are building. Sometimes the wisest thing is to do a little less, speak a little more quietly, allow something to happen without pushing it. This is hard. It contradicts everything we were taught. But this is what this strange old man says, verse after verse. This man who wrote his book one night and left without looking back. He trusted the text. He did not stay to explain it. He founded no school, left no disciples, wrote no second book. He wrote and let go, the way water lets go of the bank. And the text arrived. To the tombs of aristocrats, to monasteries in the mountains, to the palaces of emperors, to scholars and poets, to our time, through 2,500 years, still quiet, still unyielding. The images of this text, vessel, water, valley, silence, are not simply metaphors of governance. They do something by themselves to the one who reads them. What exactly is hard to say in words, but perhaps you will feel it as we continue. Images. These are how Laozi speaks, not definitions, not proofs, not systems. He holds out something simple, a vessel, a tree, an infant, and falls silent. Look, understand for yourself, or do not understand. Let the image simply be nearby. Take an empty vessel. A potter shapes it with their hands. They give clay a form: walls, base, neck. But what makes a vessel a vessel? Not the clay, the emptiness inside. If you fill the vessel with stones to the very brim, it stops being a vessel. It becomes simply a lump of clay with stones inside. A vessel is a space defined by walls. It is an absence surrounded by presence. Laozi speaks of this in verse 11. 30 spokes meet at the hub of a wheel, but it is the emptiness at the center that allows the wheel to turn. Clay is molded into a vessel, but it is the emptiness inside that makes it useful. Doors and windows are cut in a house, and it is the empty spaces that let in light and air. Here is the paradox. Laozi invites us not to solve, but to feel. The usefulness of a thing lies in what is not there. Think about this. Not with the mind. Simply feel it. The most important spaces in your life are not objects. The silence between words. The pause between the in-breath and the out-breath. The interval between two events, when nothing has yet happened. There, in the emptiness, the quietest and most important things find their home. The next image, Pu, uncarved wood, a log not yet hewn, raw material from which no table, no chair, no staff has been made. Wood in its original nature, before a person decided what it should become. Laozi returns to this image again and again because Pu is the symbol of human nature before it was shaped by fears, desires, rules, and expectations. Every person comes into the world as Pu, as a log in which everything is still possible, in which there is no vanity, no malice, no hunger for power. This is not naivety. It is simply the state that came before the accumulations. And Laozi does not say you must shed everything life has taught you. He says, remember the original wood. Do not lose sight of it. It is beneath all the layers. It is your quiet foundation. Now, the infant. Laozi returns to this in several verses. Verse 55. One who possesses the fullness of Te is like a newborn. An infant does not know how to stand. It can barely hold up its head. Its muscles are soft, its bones not yet firm. It is helpless in the sense we usually give to strength. But it clenches its fists with such force that an adult cannot pry them open. It cries so loudly it can be heard through several rooms. It lives with such fullness that standing near it, you feel. This is what it means to be truly alive. Its strength is not from tension. It is not learned and not earned. It simply is. It flows because nothing blocks it. Laozi looks at an infant and sees in it what an adult gradually loses: complete trust in life. No resistance, no calculation, simply existence in its fullness. And the valley, one of the softest images in the Tao Te Ching. Mountains are high and proud. They can be seen from far away. They are the first to meet the storm. The valley lies quietly between the slopes. It is lower than everything. Water runs down into it. Moisture collects in it. Forests grow in it. Animals come down to drink there. Everything living moves toward it, downward. Verse 6. The spirit of the valley is immortal. This is called the mysterious feminine. The gate of the mysterious feminine is the root of heaven and earth. The valley is an image that cannot be translated in a single word. It is a space that receives, that does not push away, that says, "Come, there is room here." The valley is great, not because it conquered, but because it gathered. It is full, not despite its lowness, but because of it. Laozi says, "Be like the valley. Lower yourself. Accept. Hold." And here appears one of the most enigmatic images in the text, the mysterious feminine. An ancient Chinese expression that translators render differently. The dark feminine, the mysterious mother, the root of being. This is an image of the primordial, not as a masculine force conquering space, but as a feminine depth from which all things are born. Laozi lived in a world where men held power, where hierarchy was built on strength and ritual. And he said, "The root is not at the top. The root is below." Not in dominion, in acceptance, not in hardness, in softness. The gates through which life enters are quiet, almost invisible, but everything passes through them. All of these images, vessel, log, infant, valley, speak of one thing. That strength lives not where we look for it, that what is useful is often invisible, that the great comes through the small, that the hard yields to the soft, not because it is a beautiful idea, but because that is how water, time, and life work. Laozi did not invent these images. He took them from nature, from what was before his eyes, mountain rivers spilling over sharp stones, a clay jug by a hearth, a newborn calf that cannot yet stand but is already reaching for its mother. He looked at ordinary things and saw in them something that could not be expressed directly, only shown. A finger pointing. Here, look. And the remarkable thing is that these images have not aged. They require no context. They need no translation. An infant clenching its fist. You have seen this with your own eyes. A valley after rain. You know that smell. An empty vessel waiting for water. You have held one in your hands. Laozi did not speak in the language of his time. He spoke in the language of the body, of nature, of sensation, in a language that does not change. This is why today, 2,500 years later, a reader in Tokyo, in Brazil, in a small town in Siberia, opens these verses and feels, yes, this is about me. This is about now. Nothing needs explaining. The image enters on its own and stays. This is what the red thread of the entire text speaks of. Laozi did not write a textbook or a scripture. He wrote a mirror. You look into it, and see something of yourself, something that perhaps was always with you. Only before, you did not know how to look at it. But images are only one side of the book. There is something else that makes it truly enigmatic. For 3,500 years, translators across the world have taken these 5,000 characters, and each one has heard something different, as though the text speaks differently to each person who comes to it. And this is not the book's weakness. This, perhaps, is its greatest strength. In every language of the world, people have opened this slender book, opened it carefully, the way you open something fragile. And each one heard their own thing. 97 languages, more than 250 translations into Western languages alone. No book in human history has been translated so many times, except one. After the Bible, the Tao Te Ching stands second. A text born at a dusty checkpoint on the edge of the known world became a book for the whole world. But what does it mean to translate this text? The Chinese characters of Laozi's time are not words in our sense. Each sign is an image that carries several meanings at once. The same word can mean way, and to speak, and to lead. Te is both virtue and strength, and what makes a thing itself. Classical Chinese has no cases, no verb tenses, no distinction between noun and verb, only signs standing beside each other. The space between them is yours. A translator comes to this space with their own life in their hands. They choose. And in the moment of choosing, they create a new book. Imagine, one scholar reads the first verse and sees a logical paradox, a text about the limits of language. Another reads the same verse and hears the mystical silence that precedes all words. A third sees a political thought, a warning to those who believe that words control reality. All three are right. None is wrong. The verse is like a river in which each one sees their own reflection. In 1977, the American writer Ursula Le Guin picked up the Tao Te Ching. She did not know Chinese at all, but she took 12 existing translations, laid them out before her, and began to listen not to the words, but to what stood behind them. Rhythm, silence, the breath of the text. Years later, she published her version, and many called it one of the most poetic, not because it was exact, but because it was honest. Le Guin did not pretend to know Chinese. She said plainly, "I am listening as a reader listens, without any claim to finality." And that is precisely what made her translation alive. Stephen Mitchell, an American poet and translator, created a version that became a bestseller. His Tao Te Ching sold in the millions. He too was criticized for taking liberties, for adding his own voice, shifting emphasis. But readers, millions of readers, found in his words what they were looking for: calm, clarity, the feeling that someone long ago had understood what you are only now beginning to feel. Perhaps that is the essence, not accuracy, but recognition. The German philosopher Richard Wilhelm, the same one who translated the I Ching, created his version in the early 20th century. He had lived in China for many years, spoke the language, studied with teachers. His translation is one of the most respected in the academic world. And yet he too admitted, a character looks at you in such a way that you start to wonder, is it you who has been translated and not the text? This strange sensation is familiar to everyone who has worked seriously with this book. The text does not yield. It slips away. The moment you decide you have understood, it is already somewhere else. This is not a flaw. It is the design. Laozi warned from the very beginning. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. A translation that claims finality has already betrayed its source. A living translation is one that leaves space. Space for your own understanding. Think about this. 250 people in different countries, in different eras, sat with this text. They brought their own language, their own time, their own questions. One translated during years of war, and heard in the Tao Te Ching a call for peace. Another translated during years of flourishing, and heard in it a quiet warning. A third translated in old age, and found in Laozi's words an acceptance of endings. The same text, the same characters, different books. Perhaps this is the most precise image of what the Tao Te Ching is. Not a book with a single meaning, but a mirror, large, old, slightly clouded from time. But if you look into it long and quietly, something begins to take form, something that resembles yourself. Japanese monks read it as a guide to meditation, Chinese emperors as instruction on power. European romantics of the 19th century found in it confirmation of their thoughts about nature and freedom. American artists and thinkers of the 20th century saw in it a manifesto against the machine. Physicists and mathematicians cited it in the prefaces to their work, saying Laozi had described principles that modern science is only now approaching. Psychologists compared Wu Wei with flow states. Ecologists found in its lines the first philosophy of nature, conservation. Every era came to it with its own question, and the text answered. Because 5,000 characters is small enough to fit on a handful of bamboo strips, and large enough to hold everything. Everyone comes to the text with their own silence, and hears what has ripened inside them, not what Laozi wrote, what has long lived within you, and was waiting for the right words. This is why the book does not age, not because it contains eternal truths, but because it contains enough emptiness. Like the vessel from verse 11, useful precisely because it is empty. Like a room, valued for its unoccupied space. The emptiness of the Tao Te Ching holds everyone who comes, and everyone leaves with their own book. 250 translations are 250 meetings. 250 conversations between one text and 250 people. But this number grows with every reader. Everyone who opens the Tao Te Ching in the quiet of the night, on a phone screen, or on the yellowed pages of an old book, creates their own version, their own translation, their own understanding. You are no exception. And this brings us back to where everything began, to the question that has sounded since the first page of this story. Why do words written by an unknown old man at a distant checkpoint live 2,500 years? Perhaps the answer is not in the words themselves, but in the space they open, in the silence they invite, into a silence where each person has their own. Right now, not yesterday, not in antiquity. Right now, somewhere in this world, a person is sitting in the light of a screen. It is late, quiet. The mind is full. Tasks that are not finished, words that were not spoken, an anxiety that has no specific name. They feel tired, not from work, from something else, from speed, from noise, from the feeling of needing to keep up, needing to prove, needing to become. And they open their phone just out of habit, and among hundreds of words they come across one sentence: ancient, short. One who speaks much grows tired quickly. They stop. Read it again. Something in them quietly stirs. This sentence is more than 2,000 years old. It was written with a brush on a bamboo strip. But right now, in this late hour, it sounds as though it was written for them. For them, specifically. Right now. This is the mystery of the Tao Te Ching. Not in the characters, not in the history, but in this simple moment of recognition, when an ancient text suddenly becomes a mirror, and you look into it and see yourself. Look at verse 44. Laozi asks, which is closer to you, fame or life? Which is more precious, life or wealth? Which causes more pain, gaining or losing? 3 questions, brief, without answers. He gives no answers. He only asks, because the answer is already inside you. It always was. Fame or life. You pause. You think. Of course, life. Of course. But then, why do you spend life chasing the recognition of others? Why does it matter so much what people think? Why do you speak words you do not feel in order to please people you barely know? Laozi does not judge. He does not say you are living wrong. He only asks a question, quietly, like wind that touches leaves and passes. Or take verse 22. The bent will be straightened. The crooked will become straight. The empty will be filled. This is not an instruction. It is an observation about nature, about how the world works when we stop interfering. Have you ever noticed that the hardest days sometimes end in an inexplicable peace, that after great tension comes a silence that cannot be created deliberately. Laozi saw this 2,500 years ago. He saw the same thing you see, because he was not watching his era. He was watching nature. The knower does not prove. The prover does not know. Verse 81. The last, the final words of the book. And they are about the silence of knowing, about how real depth has no need of confirmation, about how the one who truly understands is in no hurry to explain. They simply live, simply breathe, simply are. In our world, this sounds almost defiant. We live in an age of proof. Every thought needs arguments, every opinion a source, every feeling a justification. We have learned to distrust what we cannot measure and grown tired of that distrust. And Laozi says, there is a knowing that needs no words. There is an understanding that arrives before thought. The way the body knows how to breathe, the way the eyes know how to blink, the way the heart knows what it loves, even when the mind has not yet decided. One who knows their measure will not be in danger. Verse 44 continues, one who knows when to stop lives long, knows when to stop, not how to win, not how to optimize, not how to achieve, simply when to stop. When did you last stop? Truly, not fallen asleep from exhaustion, not distracted by a screen, but simply stopped, allowed yourself to be in the place where you are, without the next step, without the next task. The Tao Te Ching does not teach you to abandon life. It does not say, go into the mountains, leave everything, become a hermit. It says something else. Live, but know your measure. Move, but listen to the pauses. Speak, but do not forget silence. Water. He returns to water again and again. The highest good is like water. Water benefits all beings and does not compete. Water does not compete. It simply flows to where there is less resistance, downward, into quiet places, into the low ground that others walk around. Laozi says, be like water. Find the place where there is no need to fight, not because you are weak, but because fighting is not the only way to move forward. Sometimes it is the most inefficient. And here is what is remarkable. This is not mysticism. This is not religion. It is observation, sober, precise, like the observation of a biologist, but about life as a whole, not about a single fragment of it. This is why the Tao Te Ching is read by Buddhist monks and corporate leaders alike, by philosophers and soldiers, by poets and engineers. Everyone takes what they need. Everyone hears their own. But at the foundation, one and the same thing. An observation about how the world works when we stop contradicting it. Verse 16. Attain complete emptiness. Maintain complete stillness. All things arise together, and I observe their return. Observe, not manage, not control. Observe, as you watch clouds, as you listen to rain. Simply be present. When a person in the light of a screen reads these words late at night, and something in them goes quiet, this is not an accident. This is the text doing what it was created to do, not enlightening, not persuading. It is returning what was already there, to the silence that never went anywhere, that was simply covered over. The Tao Te Ching sounds like modern therapy, not because it predicted our problems, but because our problems are the same. A courtier of the Zhou dynasty, exhausted by endless ritual. An official who says what he does not think. A soldier who does not know what he is fighting for. They would recognize themselves in you, without explanation. Because a person does not change. What changes is speed. What changes is noise. But inside, the same restlessness, the same thirst for peace, the same need to stop and ask, what is all this for? And what truly matters to me? Verse 44 asked this on bamboo strips. It asks it on your phone screen. It is asking right now, in this silence, in this evening. And the answer is the same. It has not changed. Perhaps this is the Tao, not a road to somewhere, but what remains when everything unnecessary has been removed. Something so simple it is hard to notice, like the air you breathe, like the rhythm of the heartbeat, like the silence between the beats. Laozi revealed nothing new. He only reminded us of what was always there, and continues to remind us. Everyone who picks up the text, in any century, in any language, in any place on earth, and somewhere out there, in the fog to the west, on the road that leads into the mountains, an old man on a buffalo is slowly disappearing. He does not look back. He has already said everything. Now the word is yours. The pass of Hangu. Dawn has not yet come, but it is already sensed. In the barely perceptible lightening of the sky above the mountains, the air is still. It smells of dust, of cooled stone, and something faintly sweet, the smell of oil in a dying lamp. The old man sets down the brush. Slowly, without unnecessary movement, the brush comes to rest on the edge of a bronze stand, as calmly as though it had never been lifted. He looks at the bamboo strips lying before him in even rows. He looks, but does not read, does not reread, does not correct. He has written what he has written. Not one more word is needed. This is a particular kind of moment when a person sets down their last mark and does not search for what else to add. When inside there is neither regret nor pride, only the silence after. Smooth, like the surface of water in a bowl. 5,000 characters. He did not count them. They simply came. Yin Shi enters without sound. The commander of the pass, who had waited for this night, who had known On's age would come, who had asked and received. He picks up the first strip, looks, is silent for a long time, then raises his eyes. But the old man is no longer inside. He steps out into the courtyard. The buffalo stands at the post, calm as the brush on the stand, as water in a bowl, as the sky that has not yet decided whether today it will be clear. The old man mounts the buffalo in one movement, unhurried and exact, takes the rope in his hands, does not look back, and goes west. The road climbs into the mountains. The mountains disappear into fog. The fog goes into something that has no name, and the old man with them, slowly, without turning, as though there is nothing behind him worth taking along. He was never heard from again. No one knows where he died. No one knows if he died at all. In some accounts, he went beyond the western mountains and became immortal. In others, he was never one person, but a composite figure, a voice assembled from many voices. Perhaps. But the voice, it remained. 5,000 characters on bamboo strips. 2 centuries later, the first copies on silk. Centuries more, stone, paper, printer's ink. Then translations. 97 languages. More than 250 versions in Western languages alone. Every translation is someone who sat with the text and tried to hear the old man's voice. Some knew Chinese brilliantly, some barely at all. But all of them heard something, each one their own. Because the text is like water. It takes the shape of whoever holds it. Here is the mystery that has traveled with us through this whole evening. Why do words written 2,500 years ago sound as though they were written today? Not because the world has not changed. The world has changed beyond recognition. Not because the author was a genius ahead of his time. Perhaps he was. But that is not what it comes down to. The thing is that Laozi was not writing about his own time. He was writing about water, about how it flows downward without arguing, about the emptiness of a vessel, which is its very essence, about an infant whose muscles are soft, yet whose grip is stronger than an adult's, about the valley that receives everything and thereby becomes great. These are not metaphors of politics or history. They are observations about the nature of things, about what existed before language, before characters, before bamboo and brush. He wrote about what came before words, and that is precisely why his words do not age. Imagine this, not with the mind, simply feel it. Somewhere now, on this very night, someone is opening the Tao Te Ching. In Tokyo, in Berlin, in a small village in the mountains of Yunnan, someone reads a verse about water, and something inside recognizes, not understands, precisely recognizes, as though this is not new knowledge, but something old and their own, simply forgotten for a time. This is what this text can do. It does not teach. It reminds. 81 verses, each one like a meditation, each one left deliberately unfinished. The space within each verse is more important than the words themselves. As the space inside a wheel is more important than the spokes, as the emptiness of a jug is more important than the clay. Laozi left pauses for you, for everyone who comes and brings their own silence. And you came. Now, in this quiet, in this hour that belongs only to you, you are already somewhere on this road. Perhaps you do not know where it leads. Perhaps you are in no hurry to know. That is fine. The Tao has no need for haste. Breathe. Simply breathe. Air comes in, not because you call it. It goes out, not because you release it. This is Wu Wei, not effort, not the abandonment of effort. Simply, what happens when you stop getting in the way? The old man rode away on his buffalo into the fog. He took nothing with him but the road. But his words remained, not because he wanted to leave a trace, but because in these words there is something that cannot be lost, cannot be translated wrong, cannot be destroyed by time, cannot be closed by any border. Because they speak of what is inside you, of what was always there. Water flows, emptiness holds, silence knows. We will meet again soon, with another voice from this same world, with the strange, laughing, elusive Zhuangzi who once woke up and could not understand. Was he a person who had dreamed he was a butterfly? Or a butterfly dreaming it was a person? But that is later. For now, just fog, mountains, a road going west, and a silence from which everything is born.